Hi, Kat. It's great to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks again for joining. And let's start with your journey. Could you briefly introduce yourself and tell us about your entrepreneurial journey in Germany?
Sure. So I'm Kat, the founder of NeuroSpice. It's a full loop longevity platform, which is producing microdose supplements as an output to patients. We go from diagnosis to diet. The journey in Germany, I pitched at the Venture Vibe DeepTech last summer. This was our first kind of out of stealth pitch. We've been in a couple competitions since then. And now the regulation is in place. We should be able to open sales in September.
Perfect. Germany is known for its strong industrial base and engineering excellence. How would you describe the country's startup and innovation ecosystem today?
I think that the legacy of the big engineering brands is still there. There's a big push at the moment for the Made in Germany campaign. This is your Siemens, Bosch, all of the sort of traditional German large enterprises. In terms of the startup ecosystem, there's a big focus on university programs. So a lot of the government funding is run through the EXIST program. So this is university institutions that are the judging panels and auditing this. You must be 5 years from graduation to hit the criteria for that. There are also several incubators. It depends city to city what the criteria is on the incubators. But here in Berlin, we have the Berliner Startup Stipendium that you can be more than 5 years outside of graduation to enter. And the incubators are usually running from the European Social Fund in terms of their funding.
Mm-hmm. And building on that experience, which sectors currently offer the most promising opportunities for international entrepreneurs?
I think like all markets, a lot of the VC capital at the moment is going into tech, deep tech, AI in particular. We have the second largest angel funding in Germany after London. So if it was not with venture capital, you can try angel investment in Germany.
Uh-huh. And for founders and companies looking to expand into Germany, what are the most important things they should understand about doing business, building partnership, and gaining market traction?
We have a landing program which runs through the government. You can join webinars and several series in Germany, how-to sessions, for example, the Berlin partner, they're a startup ecosystem in Berlin. They also run a how-to series for international companies. The Launchpad just opened a new tenders call. I think they're reinventing, let's say, how they do this for international companies. I do think it's worth getting experts involved and taking that training to know how to enter the market, because the regulations in Germany are quite strong in terms of how you set up the company, what needs to be done when, deadlines with the Finanzamt, which is our tax office. And usually there's about 8 steps to the process of setting up a company.
And what advantage Germany offers compared to other European countries?
The big advantage, so I lived in 8 countries, not always, of course, as a startup. But for me, I think you can't beat the cost of living in Germany. And if you're pre-seed, that is a high advantage for most founders, no matter if they're coming out of corporate and they're an exit, or if they're a young university student. Lower cost of living is always helpful as you're starting up.
Mm-hmm. Before we wrap up, which trends, technologies, or market developments do you believe will shape Germany's innovation landscape over the 5 years?
I think in the next 5 years, hopefully, Germany will break out similar to Sweden, and we will have our equivalent Lovable, ideally here in Berlin. So we're looking at AI, deep tech. There are some climate tech funds, which are quite large at the moment in Germany. Seems to also be a big sector.
Thank you so much, Kat, for joining us today and sharing your insights on Germany's ecosystem.
No problem. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Hope to see you again.
Okay, see you soon. Bye bye.